Welcome to Edison TV. My name's Andy Smith. I'm one of the analysts of the healthcare team in London, and you're about to watch a bite-sized briefing on ASIT Biotech. Now, ASIT Biotech was one of the first companies I covered when I came to Edison, and its chief exec, Michel Baijot, is about to talk to you in a discussion about the phase 3 clinical trial and the improvements that have been made, and also, more importantly, the news flow that investors can expect from ASIT Biotech this year. But first, Michel talks about what he considers to be the atypical properties of ASIT Biotech as a biopharma company. I hope you enjoy it. Welcome, Michel, to Edison TV.
Thank you, Andy.
How would you describe ASIT Biotech for us?
Well, today when I meet analysts or investors or shareholders, the first thing, I try to tell them with very short words is that ASIT Biotech is a very atypical biotech. And why do I say that? Well, I'm going to start by just mentioning we have a phase 3 asset, which is quite unusual for a biotech, which is a heavy project. But we do have an ongoing phase 3 asset, which, by the way, will deliver results, the primary endpoints results, still this year, by December 15 of this year. So we have good problems to solve there, and that's how I used to word it, with my team as well, in order to motivate them. It's a good problem to have. Now, why are we so atypical as well? Well, we do bring something completely new in the field with this phase 3 formulation. The field is the allergy, and more specifically the respiratory allergy field. Nothing has happened new there since 15 years. We are the first one to potentially bring something new for those patients by bringing them a completely new and very innovative treatment, which translates in a very short schedule for the patient. Typically today, it's about a 3-year-long treatment and more than 60 or 80 different visits to the doctor. The ASIT treatment is about 4 doses, 4 visits before the pollenic season. So we are talking here about allergy coming from grass pollen. So those 4 visits are enough, and they take place before the pollen season. Those 4 are enough to protect the patient vis-a-vis the pollenic season to come. So that's completely a big shift compared to what is on the market today. So, as I just said, we have a phase 3, grass pollen, very innovative treatment. It's not yet the end. We are atypical because we do have very solid intellectual property protecting our technology platform, and we do have as well full control of our manufacturing process. I'm saying this because typically biotech focus on research, on development, and they forget that what is very important at a certain time is to secure scale up and robustness of manufacturing process. Well, we have the chance that this is possible with the process we have. It's fully owned process of ASIT. We have succeeded to internalize this process, so we are not depending on a CMO somewhere in the world. And we don't have the problem to find and to identify a nice slot for this CMO to produce for us. No, we fully control what we need, when we need, and this puts us in a quite more comfortable, spot when we're going to talk later in the life of the company, when we're going to talk to big pharma or to partners. We have IP, we have manufacturing process, and I think this is very important in order to really pretend to bring value. And then final but not least, in terms of atypical biotech our technology platform is really the one to open doors as soon as this phase 3 grass pollen shows positive results, to open doors to a full pipeline of different formulation addressing both respiratory and food allergy indications.
So, Michel, the second half of 2019 looks to be a very exciting time for ASIT. What can investors expect in terms of news for this second half of 2019?
Yes, you're absolutely right. It's going to be a crucial period of time for the company. So the next event, short term, is currently going on these days, and this is about fundraising. The financial product is a convertible note. This fundraising is soon to be completed. What I can share at this stage is that all the signals are received from the existing shareholders show me that they fully trust what we call now the new ASIT, the new management, what the new management of ASIT is doing, is recommending to do. So I receive positive signals, but again, until it's not done yet. But that's the next key event for the company short term. Then by now and the end of this year, it will be about maybe more behind the scene activities in terms of fully finalizing, readiness for a commercial launch in terms of not only commercial supply, but market access preparation as well in key countries like Germany. It's about, and this is obvious, of course, it's about full organization dedicated to the phase 3 clinical development organization and funding. This is where our future is. Delivering positive results by mid-December this year will open the door to development of a new pipeline composed of potential indication against other respiratory allergies or against other food-related allergies. On top of that, in this world of healthcare, Andy, and I come from this big pharma and healthcare environment, which is very familiar to me. I'm a strong believer that we cannot pretend to do everything by yourself. So at a certain time, you need to understand where you are good at and where you are not good at, you should partner. And that's exactly what keeps us busy and myself busy on top of the fundraising activities. It's about seeking partners for sales and marketing in different territories, or maybe as well for future co-development. Those efforts have been already initiated. Will they be visible before the disclosure of the results in mid-December? Maybe. What I can tell you is that this is very now important for the company to entertain those discussions and to get ready with some partners to be disclosed at a certain time.
So this is the second phase 3 study for ASIT GP Plus in grass pollen allergy patients. And there have been some important learnings from the first phase 3 study that are now in this study. Would you give us some colour on those learnings and how the design of the study has improved to optimise the chances of success?
You're absolutely right. We are now going with this second phase 3 for this grass pollen formulation, and we have learned a lot from the initial and the first phase 3 study. What did we learn? Well, it's about not recruiting too many patients per site. We have been, with some sites in the past handling 70 patients. It's way too high. We have put a limit now around the 30 patients per site max. That's something we have passed as a message to each site. A second learning is that we need to be very selective with the profile of the patients we want to recruit. And this is obvious. If you want to have the formulation we have in development to express and to show high efficacy, well, you need the appropriate patient with moderate or severe allergy in order to give the opportunity to the product to express itself. So we have reviewed and we have listed very selective criteria in order to hire those patients. Another learning is about how we can correlate the pollen season in each of the sites we handle and superpose to the pollen season the behavior, how the treatment performs. To do this, you need to have sites based very close to some pollen centers where pollen can be counted. And the chance we have is that there is a European organization which centralizes all that based in Vienna. So we have identified clinical sites according to the proximity to those sites which have the capacity to give and to provide pollen-related data completely validated by the Vienna Center. Mm-hmm. And then another and last learning, which is a key one. In order to measure